Hey, welcome to the RIOT Podcast. Woo!
Yay!
We're
Podcast.
We're back.
So the podcast, very first one, post our spring fundraiser, which thanks again to everybody from our podcast who supported and helped out last week and donated.
Yeah. So today we talk about the most Canadian way to lose the internet. We do an Oscar recap. We talk about the John Wick TV show. Battle of the Joshes, being excited about pizza, COVID vaccines, simple pleasures, how we should make money by renting out our pool.
That's an option. That's an option.
Then we talk Rancher Simulator, Antihistamines. I mean, you know, it's a well-rounded presentation.
It's a nice way to come back, right?
Yeah.
I think there's a little bit for everybody.
So I hope that you guys enjoy the podcast and have a, man, what a great Monday. It's just
going to be a good day. Now, tomorrow, Hudson will be filling in for Obi for tomorrow's podcast, Wednesdays and Thursdays. But Obi will be back next on Friday's podcast.
So excited. Already just feeling it.
We can't wait.
I can't wait.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Don't say we didn't warn you. This is the worst of the riot.
Now, I'm not going to say that this is the most Canadian thing that can happen, but I'll tell you right now, it's pretty darn Canadian, Nikki. They're having trouble with the internet in British Columbia. A beaver chewed through the cable.
No.
And the
is that real?
And the internet's out.
It feels like that's a lie.
No, it's real.
A beaver?
The only thing that could have made it more Canadian was if a moose had chewed through the cable,
or
and that was the end of the internet.
Wow. So they can't find where the beaver ate the cord?
They figured it out, and they're replacing it. But, and I mean, it didn't knock out all of the internet in British Columbia, but I'll tell you, Tumbler Ridge, that's a city in BC, they had a little problem there. So they had to bring in some additional equipment and technicians to expose the cable, determine how far the damage had gone, because it wasn't just chewing, it was chewing its way down the line.
Sure.
And
so
looks like maybe they're about to fix it.
Follow with me. But, you know, like here in the United States, you have a tendency when you call your internet provider, it's not always when you get to the tech support area. Is the tech support area located in your country?
Yeah.
So you have a lot of tech support workers who have been taught about, like, Americanisms and things that we say, and then how to respond to it in a way that makes them seem like they're right there with you.
Right.
So in Canada, if you were to call the Canadian internet provider, is it the same to where would they be trained if someone told them, I think the beaver ate part of the line, or would they be like, what's that about, and have to look that up?
That, if you told me the beaver ate the cable, I would be like, okay.
You have to find, like, what does that mean?
I got to go to Urban Dictionary. I'll be right back.
Well, no, just for, like, the Canada stuff.
Right, exactly. Like, what is that? What is that? Oh, man, Canadian Dictionary.
Yeah.
Somebody start that up.
I'd just be very curious to be like, oh, yes, of course, we have protocol for that. Oh, we know how to do that.
You mean that beaver, the bridge builders, the dam builders.
Yeah, they're the ones that ate the line.
Was actually chewing on... Oh. I thought it was just something you say in Canada.
I know. Like, what does it mean? So I'm just curious, but they're able to work on fixing it. And how much, how many households were out from
about 1,000.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, they also said that cell phone coverage in the area was going to be spotty till they could get that damaged cable repaired. Because it's all
the same?
It was running everything.
Oh, boy.
That's a pretty important cable.
It's an eager beaver. He's ready to eat all this stuff.
It's powerful.
It is. It is.
I mean, he shut him down.
Just again, they go out. They're like, well, what do you think did this? Oh, I don't know.
It's another one of those beavers, eh?
It must have been.
We got to stop using this cable. They like it.
Would we have an equivalent here of something that causes consistent damage? Like for,
tornadoes?
No, I meant like for...
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, what's something we
our
have?
Internet, it's buried so much, I don't think.
Squirrel?
Maybe.
Bird?
Can it get to it, or...
Well, I mean, I'm just trying to come up with something.
Just something like that?
Deer?
Yeah. Maybe.
Is there a uniquely American animal that the Canadians are just like,
I don't think so, then.
They're too nice.
It'd be like if the bald eagle decided to start messing with stuff. You couldn't help but be proud, but then disappointed because it knocked your stuff out.
Think of it as athleisure for your ears. RadioU's Worst of the Riot podcast.
Lots of things hit streaming services just this past weekend. Nikki, what did you start with?
I started with Shadow and Bone, and I watched all that.
You watched all of it?
I did. It's only 8 episodes.
Did you do that thing where you just scrub through all?
No, I watched it all.
Like you watched it.
Yeah, I stayed up on Friday night and finished it Saturday.
And?
Well, I really like the style of it.
Like the production design and how it looks.
Yeah, aesthetically, stylized. It's very nice. But I'm not familiar with the 2 books that merged together to make this series. So I'm not familiar with the story. I was just a little disappointed on how the story went. Because, again, I'm not familiar with the books. I think I would have been more like, that's not how it's going to be. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to spoil anything.
Right.
But
wait, are you saying there's some twists?
Well, not
and turns?
It wouldn't be if I would have read the books. I would have been totally understanding how it went.
But there would have been a twist in the book.
Yeah. Well, it's not even a twist. I just didn't like how it went.
Okay.
But my only other complaint, too, is because I watched a lot at night, on my phone. And some of it was so darkly filmed.
I have heard that from more other people. Yeah.
There were certain points where you're like, I can't. My brightness on my phone is all the way up. I cannot make out some of the things that they're trying to convey during it. So that got a little frustrating during certain parts of it. But outside of that, it wasn't as great as I thought it was going to be.
So Nikki rates Shadow and Bone.
Well, unless you enjoyed the books and you knew all that was happening and all that it was going to be.
Don't back out, Nikki. It's a meh.
I just wasn't as excited as I thought it was going to be.
End, or is there supposed to be more seasons?
No, there'll be more seasons.
Oh, there will be, okay.
At least I assume, because it does not end.
Okay.
There's lots of books.
Then there was Mortal Kombat.
I actually liked Mortal Kombat more than I liked Shadow and Bone.
Really?
It wasn't that bad. Isn't that weird?
I want to be careful to not praise it too much because it wasn't that good either.
Exactly. It's just really weird. It's a sweet spot in between places.
Whoever they had playing Sonya Blade. Oh, what? It felt like she wasn't really even trying. And I'm sure she was.
No, there was
sure she was.
I completely agree that there were certain characters, the actors and actresses behind it, who had various levels of talent when it came to how they portrayed their characters, and some were not very good.
What on this earth? There were times where I was like, is she reading a cue card right now?
No, I thought she was the worst.
Yeah, she's the big, there's a huge info dump right after you meet her. She just it's exposition galore, and it was she's like, and that's when the Outworld decided. That was rough.
Sure.
That was rough. It was, I didn't realize it was rated R.
Yeah.
And so they really wanted to be gross, with the fatalities, but I didn't find them to be gross. They just looked like kind of bad cartoons.
Eric and I laughed at almost every of the really crazy fatality stuff. This one character, when his insides come out, we're just laughing. And that's what happens sometimes with Mortal Kombat stuff, because it's they try to go so over the top that you want to be shocked, but we're so desensitized that we're just like, his insides came out. And I think they think we're at home going, how could they? So some of the fatalities were creative, but they even weren't as crazy as I thought they were going to be.
Yeah, it was just okay. I'm more than happy to cancel my HBO subscription now.
It was better, though, than I thought going into it.
You think so?
I think it was just a bit better. I wasn't as appalled by it.
I was actually hoping that it would be better. I don't know what possessed me, but I was like, yeah, what if they really
tried?
You
can't. With that poor script and they want more with how they end it. They want more.
Oh,
Mortal Kombat.
They're hinting at, new characters showing up and all that stuff.
I think we're done. We're done watching it.
I would be surprised if they don't make another one.
Oh, of course they will.
But
I didn't see any numbers, so I wasn't sure how it did over the weekend yet. But we'll start looking for it.
I haven't seen it either. I haven't either. I'll bet we start to see that kind of stuff kind of creep in tomorrow, because those seem to take a while. But yeah.
Listen, nothing was great, okay?
Yeah, that's wrong.
Is that the best
You're
way
wrong.
to put it? Nothing was really that amazing.
Wrong.
Why? What'd you watch that was amazing?
For All Mankind.
Oh, the finale. And that was good?
We don't have to get into it. I'm just going to tell you, it was spectacular.
How were the fighting? No.
There was fighting.
How was it the blood?
It was so good.
Well, I'll take your word on that.
Yeah, everybody will have to because nobody watches
Nobody
it.
else watched it.
It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
You know, Nikki, it wasn't just a streaming weekend. It was an Oscar weekend.
Oh.
Did you feel like there was just no build up to that at all?
Well, there just didn't seem to be any strong movies or things that were nominated that we really kind of cared about.
How can you say that?
Actually, it's quite easy to say that. There wasn't a lot of movies. And what did get released, they were like, yeah, it's fine to release now.
There are only a couple of these movies I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
But Best Picture went to Nomadland.
They're saying, I think that's the one that's like the lowest grossing Best Picture winner movie of all time. Yeah.
Best Actor to Anthony Hopkins. Now, he beat out Chadwick Boseman, which made the internet explode last night. Best Actress went to Frances McDormand, who starred in Nomadland. Let's see. Supporting Actress went to Yoon Yoo-jung for Minari. Best Director, Chloe Zhao for Nomadland. And Best Supporting Actor, Daniel Kaluuya, Judas and the Black Messiah. And Soul won for Best Animated Picture. Oh, I can't believe that Mortal Kombat animated movie was. It's not even listed.
It's not even in there, is it?
It's not even listed.
Is Godzilla and King Kong not up for it, or is that next year?
Remember, that'll be next year.
Yeah, that's next year's. Oh, gosh, even next year would be even less stuff, too.
Tenet won Best Visual Effects.
That's good, I guess.
Hey, Tenet was great. And those visual effects, though they were not the kind of effects you're like, wow, that's amazing explosions. It was more like, wait, is that going backwards? Is that? What? Yeah, I loved Tenet. So, well, there you go. There's a quick rundown of things that I'm sure that they're important to somebody. They just aren't that important to us.
Well, it's just kind of hard coming in today because there's a lot of Oscar news.
So much Oscar news.
And you're like, I really don't. It's hard to get through all of it to find other news. But we will. We'll find more stuff.
And I feel a little bad, but there really is an element of like, man, I'm
There's just a lack of, there was honestly a lack of movies that I think made noise enough that people who, even if you didn't see it, in other years you at least saw a trailer for it or saw people talk about it. But that's not the case for a lot of those.
I think the word for me is,
indifferent?
I would say indifferent because I'm not mad, but at the same time, I actively don't care. So, like, indifferent would mean if you talk to me about it, I would be okay with it.
Sure.
But right now, it's like if you talk to me about it, I actually don't want to hear it.
Well, that was last night. So the Oscars, no news on their numbers also, just to see how things went over the weekend.
I don't have a good feeling about that one.
Oh, unlike how many people tuned in to watch.
I don't have a good feeling about it, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we all just immediately rushed home to watch the Oscars live.
I don't think so. But again, we'll let you know when they give a detailed report on how many people actually watched.
If you missed out on the next Riot moment when it originally aired, you don't know how lucky you are. You're listening to the worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki has a movie boyfriend. His name is John Wick.
Yeah, just something about the first John Wick movie just was at the right time at the right moment.
Well, you saw that he loved a woman with all his heart and was able to give up everything for her. And you were like, I want him to do that for me. After you saw that he also loves dogs.
Just can't help it. The character was perfect. Second and third, not as good as the first, but still good enough. Just fine.
Now, Nikki, if you're making a TV show about something, what is the hotness to do for a TV show?
Take it like as a prequel, like go first.
Prequel, that's good. Okay. Anything else that you can think of? Think about what they do with Batman.
Oh, make it about everybody but the actual main character.
There you go.
Don't tell me they're doing that with John Wick.
Yes, they are.
What other characters?
They're going to call it The Continental.
Oh, okay. Now I remember. So it's about the hotel.
Yeah. So it will actually be Winston.
Yeah.
The guy at the hotel. The movie will be about a young him, and it'll be set 25 years ago. So late 90s, a young Winston making his way through the underground John Wick world of assassins and
just set that
whatever
all
else.
Up.
Yep.
Well, it's good. Is it the CW?
You know what? It doesn't say.
Okay. Just
like there's, as of right now, there is
does it not have home yet.
Oh, you know what? It might be Stars.
Oh, okay. That's fine. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be lovely.
Yeah.
They need shows too.
That's a good way to put that.
Think about it.
Everybody needs a show.
With it being a hotel, like every episode is going to be like a brand new story, just like a little mini movie. It's going to be great.
Oh, what, you think it's going to be about relationships that happen in the hotel?
If I was coming up with it, yes. But they might be more focusing on the guy.
There's panic. We're out of Colombian coffee. At the hotel, what do we do?
Yeah, like the guest isn't opening up. Are they still in there? Are they dead? Did they leave?
There was a loud thump, and now there's a smell. But they rented the room for a week and said we couldn't come in.
So
should we go in there?
It'd be the coins.
They're not answering the phone. We don't know what to do.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But well, I guess we'll just wait to, we'll reserve judgment until we see a trailer or something more about it.
Yeah, and then we'll judge super harshly.
I'm just saving it up. You just bottle that, like annoyance of like, this isn't going to be something I'm going to like.
Yep.
And just put it in there and save it for when you open it when the trailer's ready.
Great idea. I look forward to hearing your angst.
So if you're like, oh, John Wick, great. But it's not actually John Wick. It'll be the Continental.
Yeah.
The hotel from the John Wick movies.
Coming to Stars.
Oh, it just gets worse. When you explain it, it's the details that are disappointing.
I keep getting, during the pandemic, I was a Stars subscriber for 6 months.
Yeah.
Because they had a thing where they were like, pay for all 6 months and we'll give it to you for $5 a month. So I was like, $30, 6 months, whatever. Let's see what you got. And they don't have.
Do they do movies? Is it like HBO where they have movies, but then their own shows?
They have movies and shows. So there's that.
Great.
So there's that.
In case you're wondering, yes, we do get complaints.
They have gone too far. This time, they are going to be held accountable.
You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
So the Battle of Josh happened over the weekend in Arizona, and it's hilarious. So last year on April, 24th, a guy by the name of Josh Swain just messaged a bunch of people that he didn't know on social media named Josh.
Like in the area?
Yeah. And he was just like, he gave GPS coordinates and he was like, meet me here, April 24th, 2021, the battle for Josh. If you lose, you don't get to keep the name. And it has spread. And so they were saying that hundreds of people showed up.
Now, this was in Nebraska. It was in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Okay, so he had it in Lincoln, but it says he was from Arizona.
He's a college student from Tucson, Arizona.
So I wonder why he had it in Nebraska. Maybe that's where he goes to school.
Could be.
So all of these people showed up for the battle for Josh. They showed up with pool noodles. They also did some paper, rock, scissors. Some pretty intense things happened. But in the end, it was a little boy named Josh.
Oh, that one.
Who was crowned the Josh. He got a Burger King crown and a WWE replica belt.
Gotcha. So here's some more of the details. So Josh, when he came up with this, he messaged on social media other people around the United States that had his name and challenged them to the duel. So it wasn't just like local in that area. And they met up at Air Park in Lincoln. That location was chosen at random to participate. And the festivities started with Josh from Arizona and another Josh from Omaha. And that's kind of where the battle continued.
Awesome.
So it was really neat. It's fun to see all the pictures.
It really is great. I mean, I don't know what it was actually like to be there. Like, would it be as fun to participate as it is to watch? I don't know, but it's funny.
Yeah, he didn't think that many people would show up, and they had several hundred people.
And the kid that ended up winning, absurdly cute little kid.
Yeah, a little 5-year-old in one.
He's absurdly cute. That picture of him holding his Burger King crown is great.
So if you're like, what was the Battle of Josh? That was the stuff from the weekend, and that was in Nebraska.
It was. So, you know what? This just goes to show you can still have fun. Probably.
Yeah! You were one of the lucky few who missed the riot when they were live. Yet here you are.
I also like to live dangerously.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Have you ever been right on the verge of getting a job? Like everything, the interviews went great. Second interview went great. Like you're right on the verge of getting it. And then you don't.
Yeah.
You're like, man,
something doesn't work out.
Why didn't that, like, what happened? Have you done a background check on yourself lately? You could be wanted for felony embezzlement.
Now, you're probably like, well, I didn't do anything, though. Well, it doesn't matter. You still might.
This is incredible. So there's a woman in Oklahoma, and her name is Karen, and she went to change her driver's license.
Yeah.
And so she said during COVID, if you wanted to do that, you had to call and make an appointment, all the stuff she did. And they called her back and they were like, hey, there's an issue with you in the state of Oklahoma and you need to go do something about this. So she had this reference number where she had to call and they were like, yeah, you have a felony embezzlement charge out on you because you rented a copy of Sabrina the Teenage Witch back in 2000 on VHS
from some movie place
and
or rental place.
You didn't return it and they filed charges. Here's what's amazing. Those charges, the place isn't open anymore.
Yeah, it hasn't been for a while.
And no one owns it like anything. So there's nobody there to clear the charges.
Well, no, she got the charges dropped. A judge issued that she'd get them dropped. But the problem is they didn't, what's the expunge or whatever? They didn't remove it from her record completely.
Right.
So that's what she's still trying to work through because she didn't even know it was there. But I believe she's no longer a sort of wanted
felon.
Yeah, a felon. She's not like that, but it is still on her history.
So the DA, they interviewed the DA, and the DA said that technically, even though she, the place was no longer there, she could have still been brought into court and charged for it, even though. And
she said it was her roommate. That was the one who probably took the movie out.
Crazy. And man, it's
well, you feel bad, though.
Your
that's
Honor,
a mess.
We're here to hear the case of Sabrina the Teenage Witch on VHS.
Versus. Which, who knows if she's even familiar, friends with her roommate who was then at the time. But can you imagine, with COVID, court stuff is more difficult than it used to be to try to get all that figured out. But why wouldn't she have been called in when she would get her license a long time ago?
I have no idea.
It just popped up then.
Just popped up. So she's got her name kind of cleared, but she said that's why she's like, man, there were times where I would almost have these jobs and I couldn't figure out why I wasn't getting these jobs. And she's like, it has to have been the background check.
Well, then, so if all that went on and she never found out, could she potentially have a lawsuit of she could have lost out on a career?
Who's she going to sue?
I don't know, but the roommate.
Well, because that's one of those things where it's who's at fault here? Whether it was identity theft or whatever, 21 years ago, somebody rented a tape in her name.
Yeah, but just the fact that...
Rented a tape, a phrase that no one has said in 15 years.
Why wouldn't she have been contacted about all that stuff earlier?
I have no idea.
Was there, but you just feel bad because, like I said, she could have a whole different career if she wouldn't have missed out on a job or something.
Well, hey, you like to Google yourself. It's time to criminal background check yourself.
Just run a couple just to make sure that you don't have anything that you didn't know about.
See how you're doing.
Find more Riot content online. riot.radiou.com.
Okay, Nikki.
Yeah.
This Friday night.
This Friday?
Yeah. Now, that's about 5 days from now.
Yes.
We are right now, at this point, the farthest away from this Friday night as we will be in the entire week.
Uh-huh.
I already have planned what I'm having for dinner this Friday night.
Well, that's not weird.
It's not?
No, not at all.
You don't think that's a little excessive?
No.
Overkill?
No, because...
Redonkulous?
Depending on how big are we going with the meal, and if it's a weekend sort of meal, then yeah, look forward to Friday.
Okay.
Whatever it takes.
Okay.
What's the meal? Is it pizza?
Well, see, now, here we go.
I'm not changing my mind once I hear it. I'm just curious.
Yes, you are, because now all of a sudden we've gone from it's okay, it's fine to asterisk. And then you follow the asterisk down to the bottom of the page, if it meets with Nikki's approval.
I'm just curious what the meal is and why are you so excited to have that scheduled and planned ahead?
Well, You guessed what it was.
It is pizza. Okay.
It is.
That's because we can't have it as an everyday food.
It's
and
pizza
sometimes
from-
it's on Fridays.
It's from a pizza place that I like and I really want it. And I would like to have it right now.
But you can't.
But I can't.
So Friday it is.
So I want to wish my whole life away. Who cares about anything that happens between now and Friday? It's all just filler till I can get my pizza.
No, it's just nice to have something to look forward to at the end of the work week, you know?
Yeah, already. There are those moments where on the one hand, I should be like, see, it's the little things. And then there's another one that is like, would you please get your life together?
Well, they also say we're not supposed to like celebrate or plan or do things around food.
Whatever.
And can that be
It's the only thing
unhealthy for
left.
us? And that feeling that you have right there is maybe not what we should be having.
You don't think so?
Attached to food. But pizza is great, so no problem.
Well, Nikki, what I have in a couple of minutes, you and I can talk about now this is according to Small Luxury Hotels of the World. They did a survey in which they tried to figure out what were the top simple pleasures in life. I feel like
they're talking down to everybody. But.
I don't see pizza on this list, but I also wasn't asked.
Sure, we could have added that to it, but we'll find out what the other pleasures are.
Right. So everybody get ready to be judged, probably.
No, it feels like that.
The worst of the worst. Are you ready? The Riot Podcast. RadioU.
And here we have what is sure to be a worthless list of the simple pleasures in life.
Yay!
Now, Nikki, there's 50 of them.
Well, we don't need to do all 50.
What? I figure if we break it up over the next 20 minutes, we should be fine.
Okay, well, we'll just try to get through as many as possible.
So let's go ahead and go straight to the bottom of the list. Number 50, seeing a butterfly.
Oh.
Number 45, playing a musical instrument.
Nice.
Number 37, payday. Yeah,
that's good.
I agree with that. 21, the sound of rain on a window.
Oh, no, actually, that's nice.
Oh, that does sound.
That's relaxing. A little thunder, a little lightning in there.
Yes, I love it. Let's see. Number 15, dining out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm on board for that. Number 14, getting a delivery in the mail. That's funny because the USPS delivering something?
Well, it could be FedEx or UPS.
Well, in that case, sure.
Amazon stuff's pretty good. These are the top 50 simple pleasures in life.
Number 10, a match on a dating site with someone you're attracted to.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Till you're disappointed when you actually meet, but that's fine. That's not one of the simple pleasures in life.
How about number 8, wearing an outfit that makes you feel good?
Sure.
Man, it's like sweatpants. Is that what they mean?
Athleisure.
Number 5, doing exercise.
Oh, no.
It's a simple pleasure, Nikki.
No, it's just simply not done.
Number 4.
Even though we're dressed for it, going back to the outfit that makes you feel good.
Number 4, finishing a really good book.
Mm-hmm.
These are simple pleasures. Number 3, watching your favorite movie.
Yeah.
You just blew right past those. Like, no.
No, I mean, they're simple.
It's fine.
They'll get a simple response.
2, a nice dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
There you are.
What am I looking forward to this Friday night?
If you didn't hear about it, Obi's got pizza planned for Friday. He's already excited about it. So that's it. That's number 2 right here.
Big plans this weekend.
Big pizza.
Big pizza paid for all this.
That works with a lot of numbers on this list, like number 18, having dinner made for you. That is Friday. Someone else is making this dinner for you.
Yeah, and you know what's really great is I don't even know. Oh my gosh, it's going to get so sad in here. I don't have to share this pizza with anybody. This is just me eating pizza. I'm having a night completely to myself, which when you say it...
Hello.
No, that's what they say to alcoholics. If you're drinking alone, that means you probably have a problem. So they're like,
that's the worst.
If you're eating pizza alone, you probably have a problem.
No, that's not the worst. So if they're meaning like socially, you have to have people with you to eat pizza. That's not it.
And then, all right, here we go.
Stacy says sleep must be number 1.
It's not actually. This is going to blow your mind. Are you ready? Number 1, listening to your favorite songs.
Well, you're welcome from RadioU.
And
Here you go.
What do we do?
This is it. Where is napping or sleeping? I don't even know if I see it on the list.
There was one of those like sleeping
Staying
in a
bed
freshly made bed
on a Sunday morning. but I just want like sleep.
Number 46, sleeping in a big, incredibly comfy bed.
Well, that kind of needs to be higher up. That's a bigger, simple pleasure for us.
I agree with you. Yesterday afternoon, I took a nap. And I wasn't like tired. It was almost like recreational napping. I was like, I'm just going to lay down. And I listened to a podcast. So I put on a podcast and like pretty soon they're talking about really weird things. Something's not right. People are coming in and out of my room. And then you begin to realize I'm sleeping. That's what's actually happening right now.
Well, Damon said, what time does the pizza party start on Friday?
It's early Friday morning. You can join us here.
Just, plan for the pizza then.
Oh, dude, no. Kevin, I'm not getting Domino's. Come on. That's what's exciting.
Hey, wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. What is that? Because that's ruining someone's choice from their list of life.
All right. My bad.
Okay, because pizza's still pizza.
I'm getting a pizza from like a place that's more expensive. Like at Domino's, I'd spend like $10 or $11.
A boutique pizza?
This pizza is going to cost me $17.
Ooh.
Big spender.
Wow.
Which means I've got to make some sacrifices this week so I have enough money for the pizza on Friday.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, the fun.
That's the simple pleasures in life. That's a top 50 list of some of those that might be things you enjoy.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
What about you, Nikki? Do you have anything that is like, it's not expensive and it's not whatever, you just take a little time to enjoy it?
I mean, I don't know. I think we're all pretty simple, have a few streaming services, DoorDash every so often. There it is. That's your life right there.
Okay.
Go to work, try to go to bed early enough. Take a nap when you can.
I will say it's something that I have thought about, just the idea of like just trying to enjoy things in life that in reality are a luxury. You just don't think of them as such because you kind of take them for granted. And for me, I was thinking this weekend about the Saturday morning cup of coffee.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because on Saturday morning,
you got your tumblers, your special ones.
Yeah, I got the cups that I love.
Yeah.
Like The Empire Strikes Back and Transformers.
Those
and
aren't
whatever.
daily cups. These are the Saturday ones.
And so, get up and make myself some AeroPress coffee. Yeah. And I sit by the window and journal and drink coffee on Saturday mornings. I love that. I do. I mean, I know you guys can't read my journal. But
that'll be out one day. Amazon.
When I'm dead, you can read it. And then you know what? You'll be hugely disappointed in me.
Well,
and that's okay.
As long as they're still paying to read it in the first place.
Yeah, that way, my great grandkids can, have some money for something. I got to become famous first, though, or else that journal just rots away somewhere. And then some grandkids are like, wow, he was a bad person.
He's just terrible.
Listen to what he wrote in his journal.
Yeah, it's not so bad when you're making money off of it.
Right.
But it is bad if there's nothing but just disappointment.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's my simple pleasure. Like Saturday morning coffee, you can smell it because there's no, here in the studio, we have to have a lid on the cup. But on Saturday mornings,
there's always that fear
lid.
That you're just going to spill it and ruin some really important piece of equipment and take off Radio U from the air.
At home, the worst thing that happens is I spill it on me or my journal or whatever. But
simple pleasures, right?
Simple pleasures, Nikki.
And pizza on a Friday that you can plan on a Monday.
Pizza on a Friday night and coffee on a Saturday morning.
What are you doing?
You know what? Hey, I say this. If I can find true pleasure in such simple things, I'm rich, Nikki.
All you need to do is add some sort of dessert item that you plan ahead for, too, like an ice cream on a Sunday. And it's perfect.
You know what? I did hit a drive-through for some ice cream over the weekend. That was my post-fundraiser celebration. Friday night, I went and got a Buckeye sundae from the local dairy establishment. It was good.
Is it shaped like a hut? Is it hot?
It's a hut.
It's a hut. Every local place, just a small shack.
Dairy the hut.
But it tastes good.
It was good.
It was bad enough the first time around, but now it's worse. Don't believe us? Just keep listening. You'll find out soon enough. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Okay, so let's talk. How about I got another list for you.
Yeah.
Let's just list it up.
Let's do it.
Nikki, do you have your COVID-19 vaccine yet?
Not yet.
Okay, well, if you did, I've got a list of things you could get for free if you had it.
It's not a long list.
It's not. It is a short list.
But it's there.
If you go to Nathan's Hot Dogs on Coney Island, you can have a free hot dog.
Oh, that's okay. And there's other Nathans, but is it only that location?
It's just in New York City.
Just that location
You
there?
got a little traveling to do, but it's not a big deal. Something. All right. If you go to Staples, they'll laminate your card for free, your vaccine card.
That one's been the most talked about, but they keep saying don't laminate
and Office
it.
Depot.
You're not supposed to laminate it yet.
Why not?
Because they don't know if you'll ever have to get, like shot 3, like the other one.
Right.
So they say don't laminate it because you might need to add more details to it.
Man, like pretty soon I'm going to be on a weekly Pfizer booster. Like every week I just get another shot.
Well, you might need another booster down the road. So put it in a pocket, but like don't laminate it.
Okay. So at White Castle, if you can find one, between last Friday and May 31st, if you have proof that you got a COVID vaccine, you can get one of their dessert on a stick items.
Oh, they have those?
Gooey butter cake on a stick.
That sounds
Fudge
good.
dip brownie on a stick. Fudge dip cheesecake on a stick.
That feels like the fair, doesn't it?
Birthday cake on a stick.
Ooh,
that sounds good.
Okay. Probably have a faint taste of onions, but that's fine.
As everything does from White Castle. Yeah, and our White Castle closed down.
It's now another Starbucks. We have
That's what we needed. They closed 3 Starbucks, opened 5.
But they're always busy.
I know.
Why can't we stop going there?
I don't know. Oh, here I got one more for you, Nikki. This Bud's for you.
Oh,
Between
Budweiser?
now and May 16th, you can get yourself a free can of Budweiser.
From where?
Well, you got to do a lot of work. First, of course, you got to be 21. Then you got to go to the website. Then you got to register. Then you got to do this. Then they'll give you a free coupon and you take it.
I was going to say they're not mailing it to you. And then do you get like 1 can and you pay for the rest?
Well, I don't know.
No, I mean, like if you go.
Okay, because you got to buy one. Like they sell them off at the gas station.
They do. It's fine.
Because it's hard to know if you're looking at energy drinks or alcohol. Because
that's
they're
100% right there.
They're right next to each other, and you're like, okay, colorful cans, lots of words. What am I looking at?
Dude, that's like the mom who was drinking. It was either Truly's or White Claws, and she didn't know it because she didn't drink, but she
was wasted.
Well, she kept drinking them, and then like the son come back to visit and was like, what are you doing? She just thought it was like seltzers, like just sparkling waters. Thought they were amazing. And by then I think she had a habit. At that point, they do look the same.
They do.
Yeah. So is Krispy Kreme still doing theirs through the end of the year?
Did I glaze right over that?
I see what you did there.
Yes, you can still get 1 free glazed donut every day for the rest of the year if you flash your card at them. So there's that. That's the whole list.
That's it.
That's all there is.
Feels like one of those holiday lists where it's not really a holiday, but enough places. You can't get anything else. I thought I remembered something. Never mind.
Is it healthy eating so many snacks, chips, and Oreos every single morning? No, of course not. But they do it for you.
Too many guys got the stomach for this line of work.
That's real love. It's the Riot on RadioU.
So I really do need to get back to exercising. And I intentionally did not exercise during the fundraiser.
Oh, no, you didn't want to do that.
Because I didn't want to mess something up.
Well, lately when you exercise, you just don't feel as good. So there's no need to bring that into the fundraising time.
But I gotta jump back in at some point. I was talking to a girl yesterday. She deadlifted 350 pounds. And I was just like, you know what?
Do you feel like you're healthy enough to go back into lifting or just go back into the gym and do something?
I don't know. Maybe I'll just go in there and drink coffee or hang out, smoke a cigarette.
Okay, no. I don't think that's it.
They have chairs there, a little smoking area.
Well, yeah, you just bring your laptop and do some work. Yeah. It'll be fine.
It's no big deal.
But you used to really, I think what you miss is you used to really like the, the book you would take around and you would do your lifting and you would do all that. You haven't done that in a really long time.
Like at least a year.
Yeah, but that was what you enjoyed.
I did. I need to get back to it. So here's this study. Like one of the things I'm finding, I I don't know what the deal is, but like this spring, like I'm having a hard, like when I say I'm having a hard time breathing, it's not like, where you're like, I walked over to the door and I couldn't breathe. It's not like that. I just mean I've noticed that
allergies.
the stuff in the air is making it like my nose, my whatever. So you want to reach for an antihistamine. Well, check this out. They just did a study in Belgium, in Denmark, in which they studied the effects of antihistamines on exercise.
Yeah.
So you're like, hey, I'm going to go for a run outside. I'll take this Benadryl and just sleep instead. I mean, it will help with the...
You think that if you're going to especially work out outside and you get hit by allergies a lot, you take a little something to make sure that you can exercise and not feel too bad afterwards.
Well, they say that antihistamines greatly cut the benefits of exercise.
They do? No, really?
They say that
What does it do?
It can limit blood flow to your muscles by as much as 35%.
Oh, well then, let's not do that then, I guess.
Let me just read you directly from the study. It says exercise training induces health-promoting adaptations to multiple organ systems. In other words, as you work out, you get stronger.
Sure.
Orchestrated by an interplay between various exercise factors and signaling events. AKA, you lift a weight, but your lungs also get stronger because you're breathing harder.
Yeah.
In the present study, we show that histamine H1, H2 signaling is an essential transducer. Here's what they say. Basically, antihistamines block the chemicals in your body that tell your body, hey,
we're working out.
We're working out. We need more of this. We need more of that, whatever, because histamines are not always a bad thing.
Hey.
What's wrong with your histamines is when they're reacting to an environmental factor that doesn't really matter.
Hey, Belgium, you could have just been quiet about it. You could have just not told everybody that. That would be mostly like if you work out a lot and maybe you're a daily allergy pill user. Like you just have to have one every day, which I know quite a few people that have to.
Yeah.
That it might not be as great for your workouts.
Man, I tried allergy pills. No good. No good. Do you remember, like we did one time I was like, I'm just going to take this allergy medicine. I'll adapt to it. I took it for a month.
And I don't know why it affects you so much.
I mean, I can literally remember going to meetings and just staring out the window and like not even knowing I was doing it. Just
you were
staring.
out of it a bit.
I remember it
but
super clearly.
How was your workouts at that time?
I don't remember those. I don't remember anything else.
Maybe it's more because you take that and you get in there and you won't even know you're working out.
Maybe not.
All right. So pass on that. If you take something and you work out a lot, it might be hurting your results that you would have.
So you might take some time and, look into the study a little bit.
You thought they were bad live? Well, just wait until you hear this. The Worst of the Riot Podcast with Obadiah and Nikki.
So one of the things we probably should have considered when we were talking about, ways to raise money for RadioU is we really should start renting out the pool.
The pool?
Yeah.
We don't have a pool. But wouldn't it be nice?
I wish we did.
Man, they'd be like, guys, you're not supposed to be working anymore. You're like, I'm off the clock.
Did you know?
Just in the back pool.
Did you know that I did not swim at all last summer?
Well, yeah, I don't think a lot of people did.
A summer without swimming at all? Like none. Zero.
Nothing.
I mean, the closest I got to swimming, I was like, I'm in the tub. If I put my legs out, I can stick my head under the water.
I have a few friends who've been looking into pools and stuff. And last year, obviously, with a lot of people staying at home, a lot of people put their money into...
It was a boom.
Yeah. And so it's still like, if you couldn't get one put in last year, it's now like still going.
Yeah.
So you might have wanted one during the past summer, but you might just be getting a pool now.
Yeah, it's tough out there,
But we don't have a station pool. There's not one in the back. We have a sink tub, and that's about it.
And I mean, the sink tub is nice.
It's nice, but it's not that roomy.
If you need to fill a bucket,
That's
it's a good place to do it.
But we don't have any pool.
It's a good place to do it.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so nice.
Well, I'm reading an article here that's basically like, hey, if you do have a pool, that's a killer way to make money during the summer is you rent it out.
Are you allowed to?
You can, I mean, according to this article, you can. You're supposed to list it on like Airbnb or other services, and people would rent your pool for a pool party.
I guess I thought you'd have to check with your local,
I'm sure you probably do.
Housing association in your area. But if you don't have one of those, you can do whatever you want to.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, then you can just rent out and just go to someone's pool and use that, and you don't have to take care of it.
Doesn't that sound like a lot of fun?
That actually really does.
I just think that getting in a pool right now sounds great. I don't want it to be blazing hot summer. It's not my thing. But, if it was for just a little while and then I got in the pool, I'm in.
Let me splash some water over there, make it feel like it. You want a beach ball or
I tried that last year. I was in my basement with a spray bottle and a beach ball, and it was this is just not working.
Well, no, what you do is you put the things on your TV so you could feel like you're at the beach or something.
Yeah, I did that.
Screensaver stuff.
All year I did that. Look, I'm at the beach, kind of, not at all.
Well, maybe look it up, and if you can rent some time at a pool this summer, see how much that is.
Yeah. Or, you know what?
Or if you have one, or actually better yet, if your parents have one and they're not at home during the day and you can still rent that thing out.
Also, like we were saying, support RadioU, but I also have my GoFundMe to build my own private pool. And I know a lot of people really want to see me get the pool.
How much do you think a pool is? It probably is a lot, right?
In ground?
Yeah.
Let's say 20,000.
No, I bet you it's more than that.
It's more than that?
It must be.
It depends on how big it is. Let's see.
Let's Google
ground
that.
Pool estimate.
Especially now, because I feel like they probably inflated the prices by a lot.
Well, this doesn't count installation, but just the pieces here, $8,000.
No, $10,000. It must be way more than that.
But yeah, because you gotta. They're going to have to pour concrete.
Anybody put a pool in, know a price, and it's not because we're going to trick you to find out who has a pool.
National average cost, according to, I don't even know who, this just showed up on Google, $35,000.
That's so much. And they say the second you put it in, it's worth nothing. Except the happiness when you're in it.
Average price range, $28,000 to $55,000 for an in-ground pool.
Whoa.
But Nikki, that thing's practically going to pay for itself.
The definition of insanity is putting the riot on again and again and expecting a better result. It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
Okay, so what we found out is that maybe it's not working out for Nikki and I to rent out the RadioU pool.
Because we'd have to put one in the first place.
That is the first problem that we have.
It's not overcome. We can overcome that. We just have to wait to put one in.
Right. So, we're not there are many steps in my money making plan. And the business plan is flexible. We're still working on it. We may start with a small inflatable pool that we'll be renting out, and then we build from there. Yeah, you build from there. All right, you start small. But if you're looking for a way to make some extra money, let's just go to option 2. There is a McDonald's in Florida, Tampa, Florida, where they are offering you $50 cash if you'll just come in for an interview.
Oh, just to work. Oh,
they say they're having such a hard time getting people to work that they're
they shouldn't offer that, though. They need to come in and do at least one shift.
What?
It's not the interview thing. Yeah, because that's a lot of people, a lot of places are having problems because in order to qualify for the unemployment stuff and for the money with that, you have to show you're currently trying to get a job. So many, especially restaurants, are getting a ton of people coming in for interviews, but they never come and actually work. So that way they looks like they showed that they were trying to get the job, but they just don't have workers now.
Well, McDonald's says that they had their business in Tampa is just booming.
Yeah.
They said there's so many people out, there's all this stuff going on. We are desperate for people to come and work.
Yeah, so they just need anybody.
Yeah. $50 just for the interview. I'd go for the interview. Here, take my $50.
It feels like when we used to sell our a tweet, to Amazon or Amex,
right?
For credit for something. It feels a bit like that.
Sure.
You know what you're doing. You're just there for the $50.
Do you would you feel weird? Would they be
wouldn't do it.
Here's a gift card for you. Take care.
Is it 50 cash or 50 McDonald's dollars?
No, I think it's money.
Money. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they say that it hasn't really been working.
The gimmick or just finding people to work there?
Yeah, they say that the whole $50 gimmick thing, not a lot of people coming in here for interviews.
I'd feel bad. So I'd probably pass on it, but I'll take you there if you want to go try.
He says the things that they have done that have made hiring easier is that they are using a referral program and your starting wage is higher. Like they've raised the amount. I don't know how much it is, but they say that it's higher than what they had originally.
Now,
and that's a better
don't confuse in case you go to your local McDonald's. This is in Tampa.
This is Tampa, Florida.
And that's franchise stuff. So it's not a guarantee they're doing any of that stuff at any of the ones near you.
Yeah. So, I mean, you better take some money with you if you want to pick something up while you're there.
I know you go there assuming you're like, well, and you're just waiting for your $50 and you don't get anything.
Well, what if we compromised and I had 50 McNuggets?
I know. Oh, actually, I actually might be more interested if you're just going to get 50 nuggets while you're there.
And I do love them nuggets.
Oh, you could have it like fresh out of the basket. Can you imagine like what that tastes like?
Just be like, we had to let him go. He was eating all the chicken nuggets.
I know.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy-dandy fast-forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
I am a gamer, I guess. Whatever. If that's what you call it.
I think you count as that.
Play video games. But you know what? Here's what separates me from some other people in that space is that the moment it starts to feel like work, I'm done. Like I can just walk away. I'm not invested. Like I'm just
Which is why you're not making money off of it.
Right.
Because for some, they treat it like a job, and it is their job. It is how they make money.
And I'm just like, the second, like if I don't want to do it, I'm out. Like I'm just done. It's supposed to be just for fun and nothing else. So when you make work, like gaming a job, that's no good. And then when you make games that are like jobs, I lose my interest. So for example, I'm looking at, it went on, it's in early access. It's on Steam only, so it's a computer game, but it's called Ranch Sim. And Nikki, this is your like homesteader thing. That homesteader show you watch? Oh yeah.
What is it called? Ranch?
It's called Ranch Simulator.
I was
Ranch
watching.
Sim.
There's this show that I watched all of them called like what was it? Now that I haven't watched in a few weeks, Homestead Ranch or something, where it was these people that would go to different homesteads and they would show them like how to make it work because they were not. So
right.
They needed some help. And man, I got fascinated by that lifestyle. So you're basically living off the grid.
Yeah. So like you're going to go in, you're going to tear down a house, you're going to build a house, you're going to hunt, you're going to raise chickens, you're going to do all this stuff.
That sounds like the show.
That just sounds like way too much work.
Well, I mean, that's supposed to be it, but you do the work so you don't have to be reliant on anything else.
Yeah, but that's real life. This is just a game of it. Like, to me, I'm just looking at it, I'm like, look, if I'm going to put all this work into it, I might as well just get paid to do it.
Well, you're paying yourself, though, kind of a way.
Is that what?
Yeah, like then that way you don't have a job. Is that the ranch people?
They're like, hey, I'm doing this myself, so it's mine.
Yeah, basically. You get pride in it, and you're able. I'm looking at a clip from it. Yes, yeah. Flannel and all. It's exactly beards and flannel.
Well,
you
Nikki,
just go in, you build your homestead.
You need that.
Yeah,
you're not going to pay somebody to shave your beard for you.
No, you got to grow that. So it's only on
it's just
Steam?
PC only
just
right
PC.
now. Yeah, but you could, Nikki, we could be fake ranchers.
That does sound fun. I'm looking at some, I don't know why. Sometimes with the independent game stuff, I don't like the art style with it. Yeah. I don't think I would play this long.
Really, it just looks kind of generic. Like, you know, they probably bought the assets and threw them in there.
That's exactly what it seems like. It seems like every other game where you're, living out a different life.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna pass.
Okay, but so close out on that.
I wanted to present it to you because you were the big homestead talker.
Now, are you sure this isn't ranching? Because that's different than homesteading. Is it? Do you know the difference?
No, I don't.
Well, ranch, you would still be like on the grid and stuff. This, for the homestead stuff, it was all people that are like, we don't have a bathroom, there's no toilet, there's no nothing. It's just that. Just the woods.
I'll tell you, you really know how to sell it.
I know, right? Well, those are, again, people that needed help. They weren't able to make a bathroom work, so they needed people to come in. But yeah, it's different than like ranching, where you have like probably animals, I assume.
See, I thought that was
ranching life.
When you said ranching, I thought that was like when you dip stuff in ranch. What are you doing? Ranching, bro.
You could do that on a homestead. Can't say no to that.
I'm out.
The Riot RadioU.
So I was looking at this article this weekend about a woman in Florida. Weren't we just talking in Florida?
Tampa, now this.
Now we're in Naples. They are looking for this woman who is out there and she's selling witchcraft services. Says that no. Check this. She's managed to get almost $100,000 for people.
From people.
Yeah.
What's the services? Like if you want to curse somebody or
like whatever you need to do. So like she told this guy, I don't know what he wanted, but he needed to sleep with 3 eggs under his bed and then bring her the eggs.
Oh gosh.
And
sometimes you got to take a step back. And I know you're probably desperate, like you really maybe want something to happen, but you need to see what they're telling you to do.
Then after she took the eggs, she cracked him on his head. And then she said, there's still darkness in your life and we've got to get it out of you.
And so she charges money for all that?
$29,500 to get the darkness out.
Oh, why would he fall for that?
Okay, well, I started thinking about it. I have 2 thoughts on this. One, and that is, even like it's easy for me to throw eggs at this guy.
Sure.
But we all have a desire for the supernatural in our life on some level. They're reaching out to this person. Here's what I just want to tell you is that, listen, you can have the supernatural in your life for free.
Without the eggs.
No eggs. No money. That's the thing that gets me. It's like God is not like, oh, I'd love to have a relationship with you for only $29.95. Now, that's an introductory offer. If you don't act now, the price goes up. Later next week, it goes to $49.95. And that's a monthly payment. It's not something, but we can get you a credit line. We can get you started. God doesn't work that way. God, any and all things in regards to where we are in our standing with God, Jesus took care of all of that for us. And so if you find somebody that in any way, shape, or form tells you that you need money to, get the darkness out of your life, no. Jesus will wipe it out for free. You need money to scare the whatever out of your house? No. Jesus is going to do that for free. Whatever it is that they're offering, I want you to know that God will do those things for you for free, period. You want a relationship with God? You want the darkness out? Just say this, Jesus, I want that. I want you to come into my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. I want to have a relationship with you. And God, I want you to chase all the darkness out of my life and replace it with your light. Boom. Done. No eggs, no $30,000.
Don't have to pay for any of that. She was doing ads throughout newspapers and radio and all that stuff just to try to find people.
Hey, at $30,000, you can afford to do some ads.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
You don't get to tell me how bad it is.